Hello and welcome to class. It's week 6 for Management 573 Project Management. Now we're closing in on the end of class and we're closing in on the end of your project. So we're going to start the final set of activities related to getting the project into execution phase. So part of what we're doing this week is looking at the things that are going to be necessary to do to get the final approval to go ahead with this project. Remember, what we've been doing so far is planning, laying out the overall goal of the project, how it relates to the business's strategy, what resources are going to be required, what the risks are associated with the project, and how you would deal with those particular risks, laying out the critical path, identifying how long the project is going to take. But all this is preparation. Now, before the money is committed and the shovels are in the ground and we start digging, we need to get final approval from management to go ahead. And so that's what this week's work is all about. So once the project outline is complete, it's ready for the proper approvals. Now you need to sell a project to the right management. It's critical. And survival and overall success. In week 1, you define the leadership support for this project and the project's standing in the strategy of the business. Now that you've identified more critical information over the past 5 weeks, do you see any risks in selling this project to your management? Now that you know more about what this project requires, how long it's going to take, what the risks are, do you still feel that management will support it with the same degree of enthusiasm that they did in the beginning? So that's going to be the basis of your discussion. It's also going to be the basis of your project work, which is this week to make a PowerPoint presentation to sell your project to management, as if they said, well, now it's time. Now you've gathered all the information, you know as much as you're going to know before the project actually starts. We want to make one final pitch to executive management to make sure that they understand what they're committing to, and that's your job, to put the presentation together. It's supposed to include 12 to 15 slides that sell your project. It's necessary to support the right level of detail, which means you'll be talking about the critical path, you'll be talking about the risks, and basically you're going to be combining your past few weeks' work into a PowerPoint slide from a sales perspective. You're selling it. You don't want them to say, no, this doesn't look good. You want them to say, yes, this looks just right. So you want to put on your salesman's hat, salesperson's hat, and sell your project now. Ensure that you remain focused on the strategy of the company and why this project is important to the overall success of the organization. You need to make sure that it fits the structure, culture of the organization. You need to talk a little bit about the risks that are involved and how you're going to mitigate those. All right. Unfortunately, you cannot submit PowerPoint presentations directly into SafeAssign. So you have a couple of options. One is you can convert your slides into another format, okay, and there's instructions, okay, on the internet for doing that. If you don't want to do that, you can also send them as an attachment to an email to me, okay, and I will work with them in that format as a PowerPoint presentation. Okay, it's up to you. It's not that hard to convert them into HTML or just a text file, okay. So, and then you can submit those. But if you find that's difficult for you and you would rather just feel safe and send them to me as a attachment to an email, you can do that also. Timetable stays the same. It has to be sent in by Sunday midnight. Okay, any questions on that, get back to me. The last thing that you need to do for the week 6 is, again, going to the internet, finding some information. In this case, it's about multitasking and multi-projecting. Okay, and the author here has an article that talks about, in this day of many things going on at the same time and how managers have to deal with multiple events occurring, how is the best way to do that? How do you multi-project? This is going to require a short paper describing what the author is talking about and your opinions about it. Now, when you click on the link and go to the website, you'll come to the front page of this little newsletter, this little magazine that comes out, but the headline is not beyond multitasking. You've got to scroll down several screens and then you'll find the Beyond Multitasking article. Okay, so this is going to be the basis of your article. Now, it might be a good idea, again, with all your extra time you have, to do a little bit of additional research and see if anybody else agrees with this. Remember, this is not a peer-reviewed article. This is an article somebody wrote and submitted it to this magazine. It's mainly built upon their opinions and their experience. That doesn't mean it goes beyond what this person thinks. So if you're interested in seeing how the scientific community actually feels about beyond multitasking, you could do a little more research about that. It's not required, but again, just to give you the idea about, just because it's written up and it's on the internet doesn't mean that it's factual, or we necessarily have to believe that it's the right thing. So the keys to success for week number 6. Your discussion posts and your presentation, what you're going to be turning in, are the same topic. So use the information that comes out of the discussion post and put that in the slides of your presentation. Ask other people's opinion in the discussion. What about this? What about this? Okay, that's all fair game for posting. You're going to have to be talking about your project, but it's all good information put into your presentation. As I mentioned, the link, when you go to the online article, multitasking, multi-projecting, the link to the actual article is several screens down from the initial page. Okay, then you'll find it, you'll click on that link, and that'll bring you to the article. Finally, we're approaching the end quickly, and we're going to be finishing up your project, so it's worthwhile looking ahead the next couple weeks to the end of the class and seeing what else is going to be required to finish this thing up. So as you're reading and reviewing for doing this week's assignment, be aware of what's coming up in weeks number 7 and 8. So anything that you find useful now can be used to support the work that you're going to be doing over the next couple weeks. Okay, well, this has quite a bit on your shoulders, so I'm going to let you go, and you know how to get in touch with me if you have any additional questions. So until next time, goodbye and good luck.